you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Mike and Jay. Hello, Biggie. Hello, Jay.
Hello, y'all.
How are you, my friend?
Very well.
I'm stressed.
Why, Mike?
Well, because there's apparently a monster storm coming, and so Deuce has already hit me up this morning. Oh, we gotta leave in like 10 minutes.
Death storm.
Yeah, death storm is coming.
Deuce afraid of the weather?
I don't know
these
what
guys?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean,
maybe.
I get it. There's reasonable concern when you're flying out somewhere to be, concerned about the flight and the fact that the flight might be delayed, etc. But is he one of these guys?
I don't think he's worried about the flight being delayed. He seems very, very...
he's nervous. Is he like old guy nervous about weather?
He's worried that we're going to get caught in this monster storm driving to the airport, and it's going to take us forever to get to the airport. And it's like, no.
Did he look at the weather
the storm is in like Chicago, so I think we'll be okay. But he's like, I'll be there at 10:45. We need to leave. I'm like, dude, it's like an hour and a half from now. I'm like,
it appears to be perfect timing where the storm's going to whip into
Metro Detroit,
Romeo. Right as you're taking off, and it's going to blow you with the tailwind toward New York.
It's going to get me there even faster.
Yes.
We won't have to floor it. The wind will be helping us as we go.
Won't have to pass the hat to see if you can floor it.
Here's the thing. No, dude. Again, I know it's not always perfect, and I get what Jay says, but did he look at some of this? Like, the hour by hour doesn't even show.
He's really bothered by this.
It doesn't even show a percentage of droppage until 3 p.m.
Where is Deuce getting his information?
I have no idea.
Like, dude,
the text I got said monster storm rolling in this morning, and I was like, oh shit.
Now, let's consider this angle. You have those friends where they're always late.
I do this.
Yeah.
No.
Where you say, no, we got to leave by 7.
One of those. I would do that
when
to
in
you.
fact you have to leave by 8.
I would do that to you, Mike. If we were doing something that there was like I would
never.
Is that the game that's the game Deuce is playing right now?
You think
it's
so?
The only reasonable.
But that's a terrible way to play that game because all I got to do is go, hey guys, have you heard about this monster storm blowing in? And you guys go, it's coming in at like 5. What are you talking about?
He should have made something else up. Like, for some reason, he had to stop. Like, dude, I know this sucks, but we got to leave a little earlier. I got to pick something up. And then once you're in the car, it just goes, crazy.
The other part that I should let you know, Deuce is flying to New York with me. I'm going to do Anthony's show, Kumia's show again. Tomorrow I'll be on there like 4 to 6.
Any news
live.
yet? Are you still the only co-host?
All right. Yeah. Dave Landau is usually his co-host, and Dave has a gig somewhere. And so it's just like, it's just you and Ant. I'm like, oh, great. No pressure. So that'll be fun. So anyways, Deuce is really likes to let you know that, TSA pre-approved pre-screen, so I don't have to wait in the cattle call line.
Okay.
And so I'm like, dude, there's the line, the VIP line for Delta. Getting that, no big deal. And he's like, yeah, I'll meet you on the other side of security. I'll be in the bar for an hour and a half by the time you get there. He's doing this. And so yesterday, he and I are going back and forth, and we have a $50 bet because he doesn't think the Sky Priority line will be adequate and this and that. And so he's,
God, he really thinks this through, man.
Yeah, he does. But he's really proud of the fact that he's paid the $300 or whatever to get pre-approved, so he doesn't have to take his belt off or his shoes. He just gets to walk right in through the airport. And
they've deemed him worthy of wearing a belt and shoes.
Yes, they've done the background check on him. He is cleared, so he just gets to skate on through. Well, yesterday I was like, Deuce, I know you're busy. And it was like, it's time to check in. And so our tickets were bought together. And so I'm like, I'll just check us in. By me checking in.
You took him off the list.
He's off the list. So he doesn't get to skate through. And he's fucking furious. Oh, because you have to check yourself in. If anyone else checks you in, you lose your pre-screen status.
Oh, man.
And so he's like, you motherfucker.
You didn't know that, did you?
No,
you did it?
No, I had no idea. It was just a blessing in disguise. Yeah. I was trying to be courteous. To have this happen where he now has to wait in the cattle call line with me and doesn't get to sit at the bar for an hour.
Do you think he'll stand there and announce to those around him that, he doesn't really have to be here, but
I promise you he will. He'll probably be telling everyone around that, here's my status just to prove it. I'm TSA pre-screen, but this fuckface checked me in and removed my status.
By the way, I understand that these.
Sorry, Deuce.
I understand that a show like this, I'm not going to say that just take it at 100% face value, but there's a show called Anthony Ruins Everything, and it's on Netflix now, but it was on, I think, True TV or some shit. And he goes through things of like that we all think like, oh, this must just be better, and TSA is one of them. And he kind of just, again, I understand it's a show, but he does post like links to like articles that he talks about, and he just says, dude, he calls it like just security theater, where it's just like, dude, he's like, TSA doesn't stop shit, and they haven't stopped shit.
No, that's true.
Like it's like
that's totally true. They're like they have done tests. I think the last one I saw was at like Minnesota or Chicago's airport, and it was like 90% of contraband that people wanted to get through. I mean, guns, dude, all types of shit have gotten through.
Like what stops people, they say, like what stops and what has stopped people is just the stuff that security looks into, like, hey, shit, we have, we're getting messages that it looks like this is a plane that we might want to check. The security on the door they've done since 9/11, where, that's now like where they used to just like put the cart in front of it or something, and now it's like, the more what do you call them? Guards on the plane, not guards, but like air marshals. But like he goes through and like Mike said, like the
TSA, they just want to get those X-ray images of our dicks.
Probably,
I'm convinced of that. They want to just look and be like, oh yeah, he's got a nice one.
And it's like their
what
Instagram.
His wife's tits look like. Oh yeah, we got to run her through that. They're very good at making sure you don't have a bottle of water with you.
Right.
They're very good at that. If you try to bring, how dare you bring a fucking bottle of Mountain Dew or a water onto a plane? You could murder someone with that.
Yeah.
And so they're very good at catching that.
So you're saying they're allowing shit to go through. They're
not allowing it. It's just not.
Well, I understand they're not like overtly allowing,
right?
But shit's getting through them
absolutely.
rather than people just aren't carrying shit that's contraband.
Yeah. And it's like they said that like they have I should look at it, but they have he was talking about their Instagram account, and it's like they have plenty of pictures posted of like, oh, we caught this e-cigarette, and it's like on their Instagram account and stuff, and it's just
in fairness, fairness to them, they don't have time to go through everyone's bag piece by piece. It's like they just kind of run it through the scanner. If it doesn't pop up as something, they get our dick pics.
God, it all looks very technical and
I know
and
high tech.
That's what he says. Though he said, like I said, there's this terminology of just like security theater that it makes other people think like, oh yeah, this must be great. I'm taking my shoes off. I'm taking my belt off.
I mean, I've gotten swabbed on my hands to make sure there was like substance on there. It might be bomb making material. So
anyway,
I've been accused, or at least lightly accused of possibly being a bomb maker. And it's like, all right, go ahead, swab my hands. And they run the little thing over. All right.
Like I said, it is
I
a
guess
show.
He's not making bombs.
It's just old dried up cum.
Remember that time we at Minnesota, the three of us?
Oh, Minnesota. I remember. He got so pissed, as he should have.
I got through. And once I got through and was good to go on the flight to go home, and Jay got through, it was like, all right, as long as Jay and I are through, it doesn't matter. Maybe we had a few cocktails as we were waiting in the bar beforehand, and then E is getting screened. It was like, yeah, better check his butt.
Dude.
Yep, he was talking funny on the way here.
He got so pissed.
The more I think about it, though, like, dude, you would be detained too. Like, why would a person just walk through?
I don't know you. I don't know you.
But yet you think that I should be checked for my butt. Like,
I'm already through, dude. They can't unthrough me, right?
They can.
Jay and I are through. We are not getting unthrough. You at this point are still suspect, and if I can throw a couple quick. Yeah, well, I want to check his butt. I thought I saw him putting something in there.
They would absolutely, if they thought it was a credible threat, then go to you and start detaining you and at least figure out why. I'm not saying they would search you again, but they would be like, why did you think that? Why was your son?
I don't know, man. I'm just a concerned citizen. That's all I know. That's all the information I have. Could have sworn I saw
something, you know?
Yes, exactly. I got to go. I'm going to miss my flight. Could you imagine if they would have tackled E and thrown him in the back and rummaged through his butthole for a good hour? He missed the flight. How awesome would that story be?
It would be a good story.
Wouldn't it be great? Like, yes, you would have been mad.
Actually,
Jay would have called me irresponsible and childlike for doing it. But right now, at this point, a year later, we'd be having a great guffaw over that, really.
Actually, the more I think about it, I shouldn't have even been mad. I would have been fine with staying. If I'd stayed overnight, I could have stayed in a hotel and then flown in the next day.
You're discounting the rummage through the butt.
I know, well.
He doesn't want to envision that part. But, dude, imagine us grabbing our cameras immediately when E's face down. No, I didn't do anything. And we're just like, oh, man, look at this guy getting taken down to Chinatown, filming him. Anyway, so, yeah, if someone comes blasting in the door here in 5 minutes, screaming like a maniac that we need to leave, it's just deuced.
Gotcha.
We'll get him calmed down.
Hey, this segment's brought to you by Mayer and Company Accountants. If you dread handling your personal or business taxes as much as you dread waiting in airport lines, well, let Kyle Mayer handle all that shit for you. Kyle's a pro. You can trust him. Don't waste your time trying to figure out all those damn tax forms, numbers, and deductions. Leave it all to Kyle. Call him today, 248-521-0016.
The Charlottesville, Virginia The guy that James Fields that ran over Heather Heyer at the Unite the Right rally. Remember that? Was that
driving
like a year
either
ago?
a Charger or a Challenger? I can never remember.
Yeah, it was one of those. Same car, really.
Pretty much.
Basically. Jury has recommended life plus 419 years for him. Are we getting? I saw another story earlier about some guy that was raping his own daughter for years, and he got life plus like 1,800 years.
They're doling out justice for each one of his counts, right?
Is that what it is? So it's like, yeah, I'm 100 of those years, those 419.
Unless he's a vampire, he's not gonna serve those times.
Dude, that would suck to serve life plus 419 years. Would you think, like, is there a way to keep him alive technically on a machine?
Ted Williams style, yeah, for 419 years, just so people know he cut off his head, freeze it, so in case we can bring him back, we do so for 419 years.
Can you imagine? He just comes out of it, he's just a head. He's like, dude,
where am I? You're still in jail for 419 more years.
We finally figured the technology out in like 2256, and he just wakes up and he's just a head bobbing in water. Like, what's going on? They're like, yeah, you're still in jail. You got a couple hundred years to go, but should be good. Plus, you're in for life, so until your head dies, you're gonna be here for a long time. Does that seem a bit overkillish, or like we're rubbing it in now?
Yeah, right.
Cruel and unusual punishment, 419 years. Court clerk read the verdict, which now must be taken under advisement by the judge, who will issue the final sentence. And I guess he's got a sentencing hearing for March 29th. So they say that Judge Dick Moore, judges in Virginia yeah, I know, right? Judges often impose the sentence recommended by juries, but under state law, and it's always weird to me how state laws.
Moore. I'm still stuck on Dick Moore.
Yeah, well, Richard. He goes by Richard Moore, but yeah. Would you go by Richard Moore? Would you own it?
I would go by Rich or Richard.
Rick.
Change your name.
Rick Moore. You can't change your name, man. It's Dick Moore. I'd go by Dick Moore. I'd just own it. Be like, yeah, get it out of your system. Laugh all you want. My name's Dick Moore. I saw a guy named John Bobbitt, and he was going by Johnny. I thought that was a smart move.
Not bad, yeah.
I mean, if you're growing up your whole life John Bobbitt, and then John Bobbitt's dick gets cut off.
Yeah, maybe go Jack even. I don't know.
Well, he went with Johnny, and I was like, I see what you're doing there. You probably were not Johnny your whole life, but I understand why you did it. So under state law, they can impose lower sentences, but they can't go higher than that. So they deliberated for just
Can't go higher than 419. Darn it.
That's it. That's his ceiling. Could you imagine if he's like, I've decided to go a little lower. I'm going to give him 2 years. I said 2 years. Good day, sir. I said good day. What would happen if he did that? They'd probably be pissed. People would be mad. So they deliberated for just a couple hours, and they heard testimony from Heather Heyer's mother, Susan Bro.
Really?
How you spell it?
B-R-O.
Nice.
What up, bruh? That's kind of a dope name,
That
isn't it?
is. That's pretty sweet.
Susan Bro. Yeah. So she's talking about how our family's ruined, forever pain. Her daughter was a 32-year-old activist and paralegal, I believe. And, I stand by my original statements that this did not need to happen.
Antifa!
This did not need to happen. The riots and all the shit that went down. Look, there's good people on both sides.
Exactly.
So, yeah. Do you remember what the original fight, like Unite the Right rally was about?
It was the statue. Remember?
Yeah, there you go. Robert E. Lee statue.
Yeah.
And didn't we lose a Robert Lee from ESPN?
Oh,
absolutely. Robert Lee was going to call some bullshit game opening weekend of the tackle ball season. He got nixed because it would be triggering.
And then we were pissed.
This Asian guy, Robert Lee.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God.
They were like, we're just going to take him off the game. It's not right. And the company's like, what the fuck? But then it was like, well, you've got Bob Lee. Is Bob Lee not going to work too? So anyways, he drove from Virginia, his home there in Ohio, to Virginia. And the defense was trying to go, yeah, he's kind of an insane person. He's not legally insane, but he's schizophrenic and sounds like just the guy you want. Driving by himself. He's like a loner.
And his Challenger or Charger.
Exactly. His mom, they were showing I guess he was really a big fan of Hitler in high school. Teachers noted that. And then his mom, he was texting with his mom days before the rally, included an image of Hitler on his text. And then his mom was like, honey, be careful. And he's like, we're not the ones who need to be careful.
Ooh, that's
So he was gearing up to
That's
throw
an
down
interesting text.
Isn't that weird?
Your mother?
Your mom, it's like, yeah, we're going to a Unite the Right rally. We're going to take these guys down. It's like, what?
Dude, I can't get over another one of these where they've driven hours to get somewhere, and you're just... What are you listening to in the car? Are you listening to Hitler speeches? Like, did you download a bunch of Hitler speeches to just like, fuck yes?
Probably, man.
Like,
Yeah.
Getting psyched.
Yeah, getting fired up.
I just think of like
Let
them
the bodies
stopping
hit
at
the floor.
right. Like, but I think of like them stopping at a gas station. I just can't get over when someone knows they're probably gonna do something, and it's like the fact that when those guys from Arizona drove to Texas, like they were definitely the plan was to blow and shoot.
That was
people.
A trap. They walked right into it.
Yeah, these were the terrorists who drove all that way to go to the Muhammad. Yeah, the Draw Muhammad contest.
God, it's like you have to stop and get gas at one point, and you're just like knowing that you're gonna go kill. I don't know. It just seems. Blows my mind.
In defense of this guy, I don't know that the facts are such that
he thought he was going to go kill these people.
You know, he knew he was going to a rally where there was going to be clashes with Antifa.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You're right. I think he probably thought he was just going there to
I'm trying to remember what the original, because we all saw the video and it's horrible. Like he just like in reverse goes wailing down into this group of people, and there were dozens of people severely injured. I mean, there's one girl that broke her spine and has had multiple surgeries, like 5 surgeries. Her leg was absolutely shattered. They've been trying to, hang on to that leg and keep her going. And but I'm trying to remember if it was like, oh yeah, they were around my car and banging on it, and so I just fucking hit the gas.
Well,
or if it was,
try to say,
or if it was like, it's go time, and just like went flying into people. I don't remember.
Didn't he try to say to the defense that he felt threatened? That was one of the defenders.
Probably, yeah. I mean, what else are you gonna say? But yep, 419 years plus life. Yeah. So.
Hey everybody, please use our affiliate links. You'll see our Amazon and Groupon links above the fold at DetroitCast.com. Click on them, shop away. It doesn't cost any more. The key, however, is that you're clicking through our links. Also, make sure you're shopping MyPillow.com for all of your betting-related needs. Use the TDC code for the very best discount. We can't implore you strongly enough to please use these things. Amazon. It's particularly important to us at this time. The holiday season, you're all shopping. Use our link, man, DetroitCast.com.
Get your Giza, your sheets with Giza.
The best cotton.
Giza cotton. By the way, that was Charlie Rose we just heard there. Amazon. I guess they...
There has never been a company quite like Amazon.
3 of Charlie's Angels, I guess they settled. CBS paid off today.
Oh, really?
They settled a lawsuit, which I fucking hate when it's like, the financial terms are not disclosed. No!
There is very little Amazon doesn't have.
If you're gonna tell me that you paid 3 bitches off, I want to know what they got. I mean, isn't that only fair?
I agree. We
should
should know.
Are they millionaires today? Did they get 30 grand? I think it's only fair.
Or at least, you know what? Maybe not exactly, but you're right. I'd like to know at least on.
Give us a range.
A range of where it went.
I think that's fair, right? If
like
they go,
it's not exactly, but
it's somewhere between X and X. That's all we can say. And it's like, all right, fair enough. It's over $1 million. That would be fine too. If it was like they got 20 million, but it's like, look, they're millionaires. Don't worry about it.
Did he fuck them? I mean, what were the facts? You remember?
Well, I don't know.
I remember a terry cloth bathrobe.
Yeah,
being present.
He liked to dirty talk on the phone. Remember, he would call them.
Yeah.
And that one girl was like
while he was on the phone.
laying next to her husband, like, it's Charlie again.
Oh my God.
I think he's jacking off. Yeah. Give me a minute, hon. I'll be right back to bed. Oh yeah. He was watching one girl, or was that a dream of his? Her swim nude.
Okay.
He wanted to see her swim nude. He would constantly come out of the bathroom. This is why these old guys want to show their dicks to just young girls. That I don't get.
Yeah.
He would walk out with his bathrobe kind of open.
Probably pubes just billowing forth.
Oh, yeah. Never met a trimmer. No. Not once. One of the girls, it was like, he called her, one of them was Asian, and he called her his little China doll or something.
Did he ever bang any of them? That's what I don't remember. And also, I'm sure they're all saying it affected their career. To what extent did it really,
And I believe that. I mean, if you feel you've got this guy and it's like, shit, man, I'm having to give this guy massages every time we go on the road.
When they spurned him, did he then turn around and?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't hear anything like that he like ruined their career like some of these guys.
Well, honestly, it doesn't sound super serious to me. They could walk away with, 60 grand or something.
Yeah, 60 grand for having to see his dong and massage him a couple times.
Yeah.
All right. That's fair. Fair enough. Stormy Daniels is going to be a little lighter in the pocket today.
$300,000, right? And
293. Yeah. Of course, this is no big deal. Yes, Michael Avenatti. This is nothing.
Oh, she's got that, huh?
No, this is peanuts compared to the judgment that he is going to win for her.
Right.
Over the other lawsuit. The other lawsuit is the real lawsuit. This is just bullshit. I don't even know why are we talking about this. Trump's calling this a win. Yeah, the judge threw out the case and made her pay the fucking legal fees.
That is extraordinary to get the other side to pay you fees.
Really?
It really is, yeah.
What is it?
They've called it frivolous. They've essentially said that there was absolutely no legal merit and you should have known this. This was brought to harass.
Yeah.
That's very rare for a judge to do that.
Yeah. He said that so what did the judge say? I liked what he said actually. Cuz I guess the judge was like, "Look, the fee by Harder's firm were as high as $840 an hour." Yeah. And that's reasonable. The judge said that's reasonable, but the 580 hours working on this case is a bit excessive. So he cut the 25%. They were looking for like 3+100,000. And so, yeah.
Think about that. The notion that you've worked 500 hours
580
on that case
at
that rate.
This is the case where she sued for defamation of character because this is when she was like, a man came out of the parking garage and basically threatened me when I had my kid and then gave a sketch of it.
And this sketch looked exactly like her ex-husband or boyfriend or whoever that guy was. That was so bizarre.
Yeah, it was very bizarre.
And so Trump tweeted something with the side-by-side photos of her with this husband/boyfriend guy and then the sketch. And he was basically like, yeah. You know, fake news kind of thing.
He tweeted a sketch years later about a non-existent man, a total con job, playing the fake news media for fools, but they know it. And so the ruling by the judge, federal judge James Otero, said that Trump's
statement. So she said that statement by Trump was defaming.
And
she needs to be awarded damages for it.
Right. And the judge is like, nah, I don't think so. He said basically the statement was rhetorical hyperbole against a political adversary and was protected speech under the First Amendment. Why on earth would lawyers? Do you think there really was a team of lawyers that spent 580 hours on that case? How was that even possible?
Man,
I mean, you think?
I mean, you just thump that file, right, knowing that it's a Trump. You've got to win it, right? And so you probably have a team of 3 associates just working on that as their job.
Would they just go through legal briefs to see if there's any precedent? But
when you're saying like, what was it, $850 an hour or whatever?
Yeah.
That, man, I get it. Washington and LA and New York lawyers charge a premium, but dude, that's a lot to say that 580 hours were done at $850. Boy, I could see you going, man, we did 300 hours at an average of $500 an hour. You know, spread between partners and associates, but that seems.
Would it be possible that you go bigly? It is the president, future president of the United States, like though. So it's like,
so you're crossing every T and dotting every I.
Yeah,
you don't want to lose this shit.
Plus, they must have been looking at it going, dude, we're gonna jack up the hours because this bitch is gonna pay you back.
Pay. Look at that.
It's hilarious.
It's him. Yeah. That sketch is him.
Yeah, you ran into your ex in the parking garage. No one knew who you were then, anyways. You know,
it's just odd that she would describe him.
Yeah.
Like when put on the spot, like you're making up a story, E,
right?
And you're put on the spot to describe a perpetrator. Do you like put in your head your brother or something and then just go through the, and then he's like kind of tall like me with brown hair and then it comes out looking exactly like your brother. Wouldn't you just, nose is a little too big. Make the chin long or bigger ears.
Something. I mean, this guy was watching the news, just sitting there flipping around, and was like, "You fucking bitch."
She pictured him and described him.
Yeah,
it's so weird to me.
Like if someone described Big E, like anybody in an instant could draw the round face, the glasses, and the plume, and it's like, oh man, we see Big E's all the time identified on TV. His features are not. Like
he's pretty unique and
you
usually don't see a sketch come out that close to a perp. You know, even when they find a guy, you know, they got DNA evidence. This is the rapist. This is the guy that 4 different women have described. And here's the composite sketch that we've come up with. And you always go, yeah, I mean, sort of looks like, I see it, I guess.
You know,
but that example, she described her boyfriend.
Yeah.
She sat there and described her boyfriend.
Is he the father of the child?
I think so.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's so funny, dude.
But I kind of feel bad for her in this instance because she's been used as a total pawn. We all know that.
Oh God, yeah.
And this one, it's like, do you really think Avenatti sat her down and went, look, this is pretty tenuous. It's up to you if we bring it, but you do have to know that we could get whacked for fees, and if so, you're on the hook for those. You think that happened?
No. Fuck no. I think, honestly, I'm not even kidding. I think Michael Avenatti is thinking 100% about, if this story drops, the lawsuit against the president, I am on CNN, MSNBC. My name is continued in the media cycle. It's pathetic.
So here's this chick who's literally traveling around the country. She was in Romeo recently at a strip club, right?
Yeah.
Literally
getting dollar bills
traveling around, having dollar bills thrown at her to show her big, saggy, gross tits.
At 40 years old or however old she is.
Did you see her?
It's sad, dude. It's sad. You see her and it's like she's giving press conferences at these strip clubs, and then there's photos of her in some like glittery bikini with kind of a belly, and
you can probably pay $5 to put your arm around her and get a selfie.
Yeah.
God, it's a circus, man.
It is. And Avenatti, for his part, is just doing GoFundMes like crazy. That's how he's getting the legal fees for this. Oh, we need to help Stormy Daniels as these bullies try to run roughshod over her. And it's like,
because he's got to be paid.
Oh, fuck yeah, he does. And it's like, they got into a fight a couple weeks ago where she was like, I don't know if he's going to be my lawyer going forward.
Well, that was because of the allegations about him potentially beating his girlfriend.
Well,
that's when she came out and was like, oh, I don't know.
Well, she wanted to know where that $580,000.
Because I am a champion for women, right? I'm a porn star.
There was $580,000 that they got from a GoFundMe, and she kept asking him for months, where is this fucking money going? Why have I not seen any financial record keeping? And most
of it,
hey,
I have to fight these $850 an hour lawyers. I'm gonna charge my fee too, bitch.
What he said though was most of that money has gone to your security team because of all the death threats she gets. She's got basically a massive security detail, and so hundreds of thousands of dollars. So what he did was, without her permission, did another side GoFundMe, trying to raise hundreds of thousands of dollars for his legal fees, to save this, to champion for this poor woman, and more security detail. And she's like, dude, you can't just be doing GoFundMes with my name and not telling me about it. But then
she's like, I'm over here shaking my can in Romeo, Michigan for $8.
I'm off to Ohio next week in fucking December, you piece of shit. I'm in a 2-piece.
And you're fighting with your ex-wife right now over the Ferrari.
Yeah. There's a few women that are saying you're verbally abusive and violent and a dick. And
yeah, she
hit me first.
Certainly a pawn in all this.
She was down. I don't know if you saw that though. She was also down in one of her things in Louisiana where she was protesting the strippers' rights because they have laws that you have to be over 21, and she thinks that you should be able to be 18, 19, and so she was at
important issues.
She was protesting that.
Dude, when Creepy Porn Lawyer was on doing that interview with Tucker Carlson. And it's worth a watch. I caught it over Thanksgiving. They were replaying his best of debates with people. And Creepy Porn Lawyer is what Tucker has called him forever.
But the agreement was he couldn't call him that to his face on the show, so they just put it in the scroll.
Didn't say anything about the scroll. And so the entire interview, Tucker talks with Creepy Porn Lawyer. And he's talking, blah, 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 and it's just right under him is this giant, bold fucking Creepy Porn Lawyer. And it's so funny. And Trump or Tucker actually brought it up. He's like, you were using this woman. And he's like, how dare you, sir? How dare you? Creepy Porn Lawyer. And Tucker's like, dude, you're sitting here in a $1,500 suit while this girl is traipsing around the Midwest getting dollar bills thrown at her.
Great
you
point.
Don't see anything wrong with that? That doesn't seem odd to you that you're on all these talk shows and making yourself a big fucking name, talking about running for president, while this girl is traipsing about the country. There you go. Toying with a 2020 run. Creepy Porn Lawyer.
I didn't realize he was in studio with him.
Oh, he was in studio, yeah. And he's like, and you keep calling me a creepy porn lawyer. What is that about? Calling her a porn star. You're calling me a porn.
That's right. That's awesome.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
That's funny.
No, I would honestly love to know what sort of conversation you had with Stormy about the potential for fees. Didn't happen. This poor woman sitting there with $300,000 against her.
Does he have a legal responsibility to warn her? Like, hey,
ethically,
there is very little chance that we'll win this. But I could see him going, look, the press we're going to get out of this, you're going to sell out bars and make money there.
Yeah,
you're going to make tons of money.
If there's a pro-con analysis there, and you go, it's a risk. You just got to be willing to understand that.
Because I want to be very clear here, Stormy. We are going to get smoked in this defamation suit. This is baseless as fuck. But we'll get a lot of press out of it.
I suspect he said the exact opposite.
Yeah, probably.
Hey, it's December, which means all the good boys and girls get a visit from Santa himself, and Zott Ford in Jolly Holly is celebrating its Built for the Holiday sales event. That means you pay what they pay. You don't have to be an employee to get an employee discount on select vehicles. For example, lease a new 18 Ford Escape as low as $123 a month. No plan, no problem. Or lease a new 18 Ford F-150 Super Cab 4x4 as low as $144 a month. No plan, no problem. Don't delay, because once St. Nick finishes his holiday gift giving, Zott Ford's Built for the Holidays sales event will be finished too.
God, I hate our media. These headlines yesterday while we were mid-show, I'm starting getting notifications from all the New York Times and Fox News and CNN. All of them are hitting the notifications here. It's like, Trump in screaming match in the Oval Office with Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer. The headline, Trump in an extraordinary Oval Office shouting match with Pelosi and Schumer, viciously tearing into the president in plain view of reporters. I'm like, wow, this must be amazing.
Yeah, so we pulled it up on the break. Like, holy shit, this is going to be outstanding.
And it's 16-minute video, and Jay's like, okay, well, it's got to be coming up. We're fast forward. I was like, dude, that was a simple debate with two politicians all full of shit, three politicians totally full of shit who disagree for their own selfish reasons about a subject.
Yeah.
That's it. It's pathetic. I don't know. Extraordinary shouting match. Outrageous behavior. What? No, it wasn't. The fuck? They were talking about the wall. I'll get my wall. Listen, Chuck.
I mean, I know this is obvious. You know it a million times, Mike, but like, dude, they had discussions on that during Bush's funeral, the fact that Trump had his arms crossed at one point, and they fucking flat out sat there for half an hour, and went on about
unbelievably disrespectful moment.
Most disrespectful thing I've ever seen.
The president shuns the life of George H.W. Bush.
Dude, like,
really?
They've created this captive audience of Americans, half of America, who can't wait to hear the next shitty thing about Trump.
Yeah.
And so they've done it over the last 2 years, and they're just continuing to feed the beast. Well, dude, an interesting take on that whole wall debate and whether the government will shut down and what the budget is and all that. The Scott Adams dude, this Dilbert creator. I've referenced him several times before.
Does he have a podcast?
Yeah, he does Periscope a lot of times.
Periscope is still a thing, huh?
I know. But his thing yesterday was that he's arguing that particular debate ought to take place in public. Yeah. And that little exchange kind of inspired him to say that. And it's like, yeah, that would be an interesting one to hear. Yeah. Like, why can't that fit into the budget? And you tell us, Pelosi, you tell us, Schumer, like, do it all above board. Tell the American people.
That's a great point,
right?
Too.
Why does that? Why can't we see the sausage being made?
Well, Nancy Pelosi was like, okay, guys, let's. The cameras are here. Let's take this and go talk behind blah blah. And he's like, it's called transparency. Yeah, transparency, Nancy. And I was like, yeah, it is transparent and it's fascinating because I'd love to see the argument. This idea that $5 billion for a wall or $25 billion is a lot of money is hilarious.
I know.
That is fuck all.
Yeah.
That is a nickel to this country. When you're talking about a $3 trillion budget, $25 billion for a wall.
Right.
And I'd love to honestly have that debate where you go, okay, we spend $5 billion, $25 billion on the wall. And by doing that, it usually costs us about $180 billion in all the shit that the illegals, coming into this country, the support we have to give them. It costs us $180 billion a year. So $5 billion is nothing.
But everybody knows it's not just a budget issue. It's,
of course,
it's
not.
Way more than that. And that's what would be funny to see, You'd see the actual politics of it.
I would love it, dude. You say, why can't we see the sausage getting made? They don't want you to. That's the reality. It'd be because
it's just so fraudulent. Chuck with his glasses down here going, Mr. President, please, we just need to keep the lights on.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, Trump's threatening, I'll shut the fucking government down and I'll stand on that mantle because fuck you guys. We're doing this. I made a promise and they can't let that promise go through. He gets his wall, they're fucked. And so when you see videos from 3 years ago of Chuck Schumer, we need a wall at the border. It's what we need is a wall at the border for security. But it's like, why is no one playing all those videos of Pelosi and Hillary
My
and
favorite was
Barack, all of them talking about needing a wall at the border?
Mike, my favorite was you mentioned you guys were watching it and you said like finally when they like stormed off or something, there was the one dude that just like the argument was over apparently, but he still had to get out there.
Yes,
like
Schumer gets the last word. And, for the record, you're going to be shutting down the government over this.
Yeah.
Like, gotcha, Chuck. You're
For the
blameless.
record, yeah.
You're blameless.
For the record, let it be known. It's like, dude, everybody knows that 80% of the government still runs. Basically, you shut the national parks down for a day.
That's the other thing.
Gives
It's
a
not
shit.
even really like
Military gets paid. Everyone gets paid. No one's not getting money.
I don't know. That
Just
post
trying
office
to keep
closure
up.
the other day was pretty inconvenient for me
It
personally.
is. But if it gets us a wall,
Yeah,
will you give up
right.
one day?
I will, for sure.
But we're in a time right now where people are applying for jobs at the White House in stories online, right?
Dude, Piers Morgan, did you see this? He did an open letter to be the next chief of staff.
I didn't read it.
This
but
is the
I
world
saw it.
we live in.
Yeah.
Pierce Morgan, winner of Celebrity Apprentice. Well, I remember him. He's, gossip news guy over in the UK. He's done
he was
tons
like
of shit. America's Got Talent.
Yeah, and he does like Good Morning Britain right now, their version over there of Good Morning America, their big morning
Is
show.
he comparable to someone over here? Like, would you put him in?
Well, it's
He
weird
took
because
over
what was it? He works for the Daily Mail writing columns now,
He's
but
sort of more dynamic than anybody I can think of in the States, honestly.
he ran a big tabloid though for years and years. The Sun, one of those, I can't remember which one, but he was like the guy.
Has done and does a lot of different things.
Yes,
But one of the things he has in his pocket is this relationship with Trump, which is strange, and we've seen it rear its head with Dennis Rodman and the North Korea
it's
issue.
insane,
and
isn't it?
it is insane when these worlds collide.
Do
But
you like Piers, by the way?
he's all right. I mean, he's really, really anti-gun, which is a little nauseating at times.
but I don't
And
think
that
they
those
overall-
people are such like if you're on the gun side, pro-gun or anti-gun, those people are vicious to each other. And so Piers literally he took over for Larry King maybe.
That's what I was gonna say.
And
He
had the
was.
CNN show,
Yeah.
and it was night after night after night after night. He battled everybody about guns, anti-guns, and people fucking to this day. That's what he's known as to Americans is the anti-gun guy. Fuck you! Don't touch my gun.
Yeah.
It's my right. And so they hate him. But if
But he
you read his
believed in it.
articles, oh yeah,
And hey, he used his platform to argue his position.
and
But
I like his articles.
He does have a
personally.
lot of good takes here
Yeah.
and there. He's an interesting dude. But yeah, he gives basically like 10 reasons why he should be considered. You need someone who will look you in the eye and tell you when you're being an idiot. Seriously. He said that to Trump in the open letter.
Yeah.
He would surround the Oval Office with loyal people who like and respect you, not the type of ghastly, untrustworthy reptiles like Omarosa Manigault Newman. He would vet Trump's tweets, he offers. He would get the media to focus. I don't know that you want somebody exactly vetting.
No.
Let the man tweet.
And Trump would
this
never
point-
give you his pen. I'm not giving you
At
my
this point-
password.
Well, I think there is a person within the. Isn't that the case
There
where
must be.
there's somebody who tweets for him on some instances?
Yeah, but if he wants
regarding
to say
policy,
something,
Sure,
He'll
yeah.
fucking
yeah.
say
He's not
it.
going to run it through Piers Morgan.
yeah. The
Um,
smoking gun.
Smocking. Say it twice. You see what I did there? It's genius. He would get the media to focus more on Trump's achievements, says Pierce.
Not possible.
He would be a chief of staff who gets on with Ivanka and Jared and encourages you to listen to them as much as possible. He could bring an end to the war with CNN. Why? Who cares? Things are about to get heated with special counsel Robert Mueller, and I love a scrap. He would use Melania more. She's become a very popular electoral
true.
asset, he says. I literally pay you to work for you. You need someone whose reputation won't be remotely tarnished by working with you and won't mind in the slightest if you suddenly fire him. That's a good
Fair
one.
point.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Well,
I mean,
here's
here we
the
are in this
problem.
weird world.
This country would not be happy with Piers Morgan, Mr. Anti-Second Amendment, being that close to
Mhm.
that much power and having the ear. The last thing you want is President Trump going, I've rethought some things. Do we really need all these guns?
Yeah, he's very pliable.
That would be That people would not be happy about that if Piers Morgan got that close.
I think the more time's gone on, though, hasn't Trump gotten more and more conservative, though, in his views? Don't you feel like that? Like, he was a total free agent before.
Yeah.
Honestly, he probably leaned left going into the 2016, and if there were a spot for him on the left, he probably would have taken it and ran with it.
Yeah.
But the right decided to take him or allowed him to be there, and so he kind of fell into that. And now, as he's been just pummeled by the left, I think he's like seeing, God, man, this shit. He's even drilled into his side more, you know?
Yeah.
I think so.
I think he didn't understand. Like, we all knew, these guys are all full of shit here. The left, the right. It doesn't feel like they're looking out for the best interests of the country. They just squabble. They don't get anything done. They make outrageous promises, and they say all the right things, but they don't get anything done. That was kind of the muck world of Washington. And Trump was like, fuck it. I'm going to blow out the doors, and we're going to get stuff done. And I think it drives him out of his fucking mind that, oh, God, it's way worse than I thought. Like this, it's impossible to do anything because it's just attack mode on each other.
Well, and I think he's also seen, or he should see, that you do have to latch onto one side or the other to get anything done.
Yeah.
And he's found more support on the right. Not everybody supports him. They'll always be the never Trumpers, but I don't know, man. I guess, who knows? He's such a wild card, but I don't know that he'd go that far and start going anti-gun on people.
Yeah, he couldn't. And I think he could stand up to Piers Morgan. Like, there's no fucking way if he tried to go anti-gun, he would lose everybody. He would lose way too many people. But I don't know, man. That'd be interesting. I wouldn't put it past anything if he was like, introduce my new chief of staff, Piers Morgan. That'd be weird, but
I guess he once told Morgan on Celebrity Apprentice, Piers, you're a vicious guy. I've seen it. You're tough. You're smart. You're probably brilliant. I'm not sure. You're certainly not diplomatic, but you did an amazing job and you beat the hell out of everybody.
He did. I remember watching that season, and he did beat the hell out of everybody.
Did he?
And they attacked him every which way you could. The other contestants, Omarosa, vicious fights with Omarosa. The one good thing about a guy like that, Piers Morgan, doesn't give a fuck what you think about him. He's not going to play he wouldn't play the political game. That's what's interesting. Now you got another guy in there that's like, I'm going to tell you exactly what I feel, and you can report and twist anything you want and say what you want and attack me personally. I don't give a shit.
I tend to think that chief of staff is a way more complicated position than perhaps Pierce is anticipating. You know what I mean?
Traditionally, yes, not anymore.
I've always been of the ilk that I don't think president is as hard as people want to tell you because you have people like chiefs of staff and other advisors around doing a lot of the work.
What is in a nutshell? Do you have any idea what the chief of staff? He oversees the rest of the chiefs.
It's got to oversee the whole fucking machine, right?
Yeah.
That's communicating with all the different branches of everything.
Yeah.
Everything you got going on has to go through your chief of staff.
Yeah.
That's a lot, man.
It is a lot. People have no idea. You're probably right. President is, you've always said, like, okay, there's decision A. Here's the question.
I went B yesterday. I'm going to go A today.
Listen, Chief, we'll go C tomorrow.
B stands for best and bigly.
I make the best decisions. So we're going B. Tomorrow we'll go A because I'm the A+ president. The best.
Hey, tackle ball season. It is heating up. It is well underway. So stop by the Hamill Pub to watch your favorite team on one of their numerous TVs and enjoy sports specials like the $7 medium hand toss pizzas, boneless wings, or the Nacho Supreme. Of course, these specials are good at all 5 Hamlin Pubs locations, Clarkston, Chesterfield, Rochester, and the 2 in Shelby Township. And don't forget, it's #DrinkHamlin month. So tweet, Facebook, Instagram, a picture or image, if you will, of you eating or drinking, partaking in merriment of some sort at Hamlin Pubs. Go ahead and get that out there, and we will be drawing winners for fabulous prizes and Hamlin bucks and so forth. So get that done. #DrinkHamlin.
Google has announced their top trending searches 2018. Got a special website dedicated to it at google.com/2018.
So Bing is ignored. We're just going Google.
I guess. I mean, I've never been on Google, not in 2 years at least. But these are Google's. I'm sure Bing is probably similar.
They're gonna release their list tomorrow.
Yeah. Their list is what is Bing?
Their list includes Google. They people Bing and Google.
Their story's like, a lot of shit happened in 2018, Mega Millions, setting records, and Anthony Bourdain and all that stuff. So, were you surprised? I know you've seen the list, and we can go through some of these. We got searches, and then you've got news. Like, what was the most searched news topic? What people were the most searched?
Yeah, I guess just overall search category sort of surprises you, with Mac Miller being number 3.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, some of these relate to stories that get thrown out there by our awesome media, and a lot of people going, who the fuck is Mac Miller?
Yeah.
Or who the fuck is Kate Spade?
That's what I do. I go on Twitter and it's
like fucking
trending.
Huge story. Oh my God, it's huge. It's huge. It's huge. Because for whatever reason, there's not a lot of other news going on that day. And so Mac Miller hits big.
Yeah.
And so you have a lot of people going, I should know who Mac Miller is. Who is this?
Well, when I see it on Twitter and it is a top trending Mac Miller, I'm like, I'll click on it and be like, who the fuck is that? So I'm guilty of doing that same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mac Miller is the 26-year-old rapper who used to be boyfriend of Ariana Grande, and he died of an overdose a couple months ago. Yeah.
Kate Spade committed suicide. Sister-in-law of David Spade.
Yep.
Designer.
I'm surprised Kate Spade would be that high.
Yeah, number 4, right?
World Cup, number 1.
That doesn't surprise me at all. Not at all.
When you really think about it, it's most
worldwide, man.
Yeah, it's worldwide, and it's the biggest sporting event on the planet.
Huge.
I would have never in a million years guessed that, though, personally, just because it's not on my radar. I would have put probably Kavanaugh.
Yeah, Kavanaugh.
You know what I mean? Like Kavanaugh hearings.
Sure.
Which you've got election results. Demi Lovato. Oh yeah, she's got all the trouble.
That's another one. You have a big news story, a big happening with a person that's like, I'm not sure who that is, and that renders these searches, right?
Yeah, because you would think like Donald Trump, but it's like nobody needs to Bing Donald Trump or Google Donald Trump. Mega Millions results, that makes sense. Stan Lee, who died, and then he was in the news a lot earlier too, fighting with his family and people trying to take money from him and all that kind of stuff. Hurricane Florence.
Sure.
So then you go to news. Government shutdown is at the bottom of their top 10.
That kind of surprises me, honestly. Was there a lot of thought about government shutdown in 2018?
Well, they did shut it down for 2
yesterday
days.
when we
remember.
Yeah,
you shut it down last time. It didn't work out so well for you.
But I haven't thought about that until yesterday when we just discussed the Trump Pelosi thing.
But that's another thing where people would go, well, what does that mean actually?
Right.
What does government shutdown mean? Does that mean my post office is closed? The military doesn't get paid?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of unanswered questions that people just wouldn't know. Olympic medal count?
Yeah, that's a good one. That makes sense.
Royal wedding? Ugh. Every day, dude, when I'm going, if you're reading international news at all, every day there's going to be 6 stories about Meghan Markle and her fucking retarded dad.
Boy, is she throwing a wrench in things. Or they want it to be so, right? The English, the British tabloids and so forth, they so want her to be a problem.
They have to.
Because Kate and what's his name, the other couple, seem to be happy and boring.
Yeah.
So you need Harry and Meghan to be these outrageous people, and Meghan is the dark horse from the U.S. Oh my God,
the crazy dad who wasn't invited to the wedding or something, and drunk. So they are always attacking that relationship.
And then there's allegations now, I guess, just based on headlines, that Meghan and Kate are not getting along.
Oh boy.
Well, wasn't it?
Well, dude, if I had to see one more picture of George in his baby blue fucking suit,
looking like little Lord Fauntleroy.
Oh, just absurd. It's like
such a little pussy.
And he does. I'm sorry. It's like new pictures of the royal baby. It's like he's a toddler in a fucking gay little suit.
Can't believe the Brits pay for that shit. You know what I mean?
I know.
They seem better than that. They seem anti-bullshit to me in a lot of ways.
People know that they don't really have power.
They do, but they fund this thing as just sort of this sport.
You would think it was the government. It was the ruling government, but it's not. It's just this weird giant mansion over here where this weird family of incestuous people lives and breeds and
they fund it.
And the elaborate weddings that the whole world apparently cares about. But dude, it's undeniable when any one of those people walks out of the house wearing a new fucking jacket, shit is gone.
Yeah.
Sold out immediately. Baby George and his homo little fucking powder blue shorts with his little jacket, sold out immediately. It's like, who's dressing your toddler up like that? It's ridiculous.
Angus Young.
Yeah, right. So yeah, Meghan Markle or whatever, royal wedding, Florida shooting. So is that the gay nightclub shooting, or is this the?
Yeah,
No, that was
right?
last year. Wasn't
Oh
it?
no, that's Parkland, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
Parkland. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Kavanaugh confirmation.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's only 6, honestly.
Yeah.
Although it was a pretty condensed period.
Yep.
Whatever happened to that?
Although these hurricanes are fairly condensed. I don't know, man. God, Kavanaugh felt really big to me.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that
And it's a
dominated
subject matter
everything.
where a lot of people would have questions about it. Like, what
Totally.
the fuck is going on with this? What is the Supreme Court? How does it work? Why
Yeah.
is this such a big deal?
Plus, with all the protesters, people would be searching Kavanaugh confirmation just to see video of those insane people banging on the doors and
Yeah.
interrupting the process.
Yeah.
How
A
long?
disappointing number 6.
How long was that period from what you know what I mean? For real, like I'm trying to think now. Was it literally only like 2 or 3 weeks in
Yeah.
the end?
Yes.
Or like,
Oh, yeah.
Didn't it
From-
seem
from-
like it was 6 months?
Yes.
It seemed like an eternity.
Yeah, the news cycle can be like that.
And then they put
Yeah.
him in, and then it was just like, okay, whatever.
It's Shay's biggest frustration in the world because it's like you come in and it's like you want to talk about the news and it's like it's fucking 2 straight weeks of the lead story and then the next 8 stories too.
Yeah.
And it's like okay,
But then
what
it's
else can
just-
we say about this? What do you say? And then you just want to point out, did you see the retard in the front row that yelled, "I believe survivors"?
Yeah. And
You know,
by the way, all these people who thought that Kavanaugh was going to destroy abortion rights and so forth,
Yeah.
he just voted to not grant certiorari review of an abortion case that people thought would probably, given the makeup of the court, make it to the court.
Interesting.
And
So
he
what
just
is-
voted against that. So it's not going to go up to the Supreme Court.
Really?
The ruling is going to stand at the
What was the
appellate level.
case?
I don't know the details of it,
but it was
it was
abortion
going to
related.
present an abortion issue.
Wow.
Where's
And
that?
a first opportunity for him to take a whack at abortion rights, right?
Yeah, which is all we heard.
And he was like, nope.
They literally
I mean,
said
that-
you're
that
just
is
killing
so-
people, right?
That is so dangerous. Like this guy getting confirmed is going to be killing people, and
It's like
millions
him
of
not
people
getting
are gonna
confirmed
die.
is killing people.
Right. But to
Depends
tell
on how you look at it.
you've got this frenzied.
I mean, if we
group
count
out there.
fetuses as people,
No, they don't count.
they don't,
until,
I guess,
Yeah,
but-
they don't count. But you've got these frenzied people just dying to be whipped up even more, and it's like he gets in there, and it's going to be millions of you are going to die. He's going to take on Roe v. Wade. Abortion is dead, folks. Women's bodies are under attack, and they're just like, I can't let him in. He's going to. I want to murder my unborn baby.
somebody make some shit up. Quick. Somebody make some shit up.
I still don't get. I know I'm really slow on this stuff.
You
but,
are.
But like,
In your defense.
okay, let's say he doesn't allow abortions. How is that killing people? Like,
No, Mike's
because they're
just
gonna go-
using.
no, I thought
Mike's
they
using
did
poetic
say that
license.
though.
No, but they did.
Well,
They
it's
definitely
saying,
said
yeah,
by saying
that
that
women-
they'll go to other places.
There is a small percentage of women who get abortions in order to protect their own bodies, right?
Oh, okay,
That there's an issue
But-
that.
And that's
Yeah.
okay. Those abortions are apparently okay.
That's so rare though.
But in every instance of abortion, what's happening?
I know.
Some believe you're actually killing a human
Right,
being.
isn't that-
Yeah.
It's something.
Well, this is
quite a
this is-
conundrum.
This is the argument that's made, and it's on both sides all the time. It's like, well, what about the mom who might die? There's a good chance she'll die, and it's like, yeah, that's super rare, and we can look at that case on its own. But that's the one thing they can throw out there. Well, what about the kid that the paper and the acid weighed way more? Now he's doing life in
Yeah,
jail.
yeah.
I mean, what about that guy? And it's like, yeah, you can find extreme cases on either side of
Right.
all this shit. What about the immigrant who comes over and murders 20 people? I mean, that's how they all are.
Yeah. Or what about the immigrant who comes over, just wants to be here, just has a nice little family, and they're just.
He wants to live out the American dream. Bring us your poor, you're tired, yearning.
Yeah.
Apparently we know now in our circle of 6 or whatever. I forget that terminology is, but apparently
you
we
got
know the separation of 6 or something or.
Huh?
Yeah, no, keep
Or-
going. This is good. This is good stuff.
Are we talking about abortion or
No,
immigration?
I was
or-
going to talk about immigration, how the fact that we have that listener who has a cousin who's apparently just banging all these
the Jamaican guys.
coming up, all these immigrants coming up for the year, and she's just
What is
banging
the
them.
separation of 6?
I'm not sure.
Wow.
You know what I'm talking about?
No,
right?
making policy based on the
The best thing is someone listening right now is going, I know what he's trying to say.
I'm trying to say, like, when you say like we're all like Kevin, what is it? Kevin Bacon And we all
6 degrees of separation.
So I was trying to say, like, we have 6 degrees of someone that we know of an immigrant that's just going up here and banging without a condom and leaving and impregnating kids.
Dropping damn anchor babies
That's what I was trying to say.
Hooking up the system.
See, that's the beauty of Big E's role on the show is he can just quickly jump in.
Yeah.
Just say
Make
his
a quick
joke.
point.
Just and get out. You know what I mean?
Hit it hard,
Bam,
get
bam.
out. Wait, land his JPE.
And
Hit-
listeners
wait-
just go, holy fuck, that was magical. How
Yeah.
he picks his spots.
What can I
you know?
say?
He comes in hot, bam,
Bam,
waits
joke.
for the explosion of laughter in the room, and he's gone like a ghost.
Exactly.
Gone.
Exactly.
And he lies in wait for the next one.
Okay, we're rolling through the rest of these. Hurricane Michael. Dude, my hurricane
Yeah, it's up there, huh?
beat out the Kavanaugh confirmation. Can you believe that?
That's great. Great news for
I was
you.
coming in hot. Remember that it was like a Cat 5 or something for a while
Mhm.
there? And election results. Who the fuck would be binging election results? Wasn't everybody just watching it? It was on every TV and every
Right.
channel in the country.
Yeah, some of these are curious because you know where to go for things like that, right? You
Yeah.
can just grab CNN or Fox or ABC, whatever. Like,
Go to
what
my
am I gonna have
Google
to
machine.
Google? Election results. Yeah, it's weird.
And then you've got Mega Millions. I get that. I did the same thing. Like results, I wanted to know
Right.
like, what the numbers were.
Instead of trying to scroll through like USA Today to find them.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Hurricane Florence. Which one was Florence?
Man, I have a. Was that Houston? Was
That's
that the
what
one?
I-
Yeah,
that's what I was
okay,
thinking,
yeah,
yeah.
which did huge damage. World Cup, number one,
Mm.
again, in news. For people, we've got Cardi B. I would have had to Bing that or Google that too. Rick
I
Ross.
don't know who Cardi B is.
Not really. Not up on that shit.
Do you know anything about, like, did you Google her? Like, right now, what would you say?
She's got a weird last name.
That's it? For real? You don't
Yeah.
actually know? Okay,
No.
I'm just curious.
No, I don't follow a lot of the entertainment pop
Yeah.
culture shit. I just don't care. Rick Ross, whatever. Ariana Grande, Urban Meyer
Okay.
up there. Eminem, Khloe Kardashian, Logan
Eminem.
Paul.
Why would Eminem have been Googled that much?
went to that
New
big-
album Kamikaze. And then was that the surprise album? He
Yeah, that
released a
was.
surprise album, and he released 2 albums.
Okay.
And he was so
Really quick.
hardcore against, like, Trump. Remember, we drawing the
Yeah.
line in the sand and all
Yeah.
that. But although that was before, that was kind of technical. I don't know when that was.
Yeah, but that makes sense because if it's like you're hearing rumor of because Eminem dropped like an acapella 10-minute thing recently,
Mm-hmm.
and so it was like if you just binged or Googled Eminem,
Mhm.
that would be the story of the day would pop up. You could hear it. Also his secret album that just dropped one day out of
Okay.
nowhere. So that doesn't terribly surprise me. Logan Paul, Brett Kavanaugh, and then the top 2 were Meghan Markle and Demi Lovato.
Okay.
And then How To.
The how-tos
Oh,
are
that's
weird.
That's the most interesting. I didn't realize they did
Yeah.
that. How to?
What if the Google thing would have been like how to do anal?
Mhm.
Like would
I
they have
know,
just
I
like
know.
gone, we can't put that in the
I thought of
story.
that too.
It's going in USA
Yeah.
Today. You know what I mean?
Dude, no matter what, you know what? Honestly, no matter what, when you point that out to me, unless you read these and let me hear them, like I won't believe that something of that wasn't in the top 10.
You want to run off? Do you have the list there, Jay?
Yeah, how to get boogie down emote.
So that must be like a
Yeah.
emoticon thing. I could see that.
How to screen record. How to buy Bitcoin. Makes sense.
Yep.
How to play Powerball. How to get the old Snapple back.
Seriously?
How did that like trend like that where it ends up number 6 on how to for the year?
For the
How
year.
to get Snapple, the old Snapple back.
I didn't even know there was a new Snap.
How to turn off automatic updates. How to buy Ripple. How to play Mega Millions. How to register to vote. Makes sense. How to vote.
Do people not know how to play Mega Millions or Powerball? Just go to any fucking party store or gas station on the planet and buy it.
Easy pick.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's people who have never played the lotto and then when it gets to like $1 billion and they're like, shit, I should probably do this, but
yeah.
I feel kind of dumb. What do
How
you
do you
do?
do-
Like,
Do I have to come in with my list of numbers?
Right.
I guess, but that many people?
I don't know.
I don't
Wouldn't
believe
know
that
that.
there wouldn't be something in there, honestly. Like
I
you
know.
said,
Like anal?
it wouldn't be maybe not anal, but something like
How to anal.
how to.
Yeah. How to
Something
get
just
dried
suck
cum off
dick.
my hands before I go to the
Right.
airport.
How to properly suck dick.
Yeah.
I just don't believe it.
I noticed, by the way, at the there's a new sign at one of the stores I go to, one of the like party stores, and it's right by the register, right by the lotto machine, and it's like, the lotto this year has given $287 million to public
Is
schools.
that right?
No,
Like,
dude,
oh, really?
It's if
For
you
what?
It's if you go no, dude. Honestly, I wonder if you really are looking at this year's or like when I've gone to like sporting events now. They now have the advertisements.
It's a
that
running tally.
Since 1976,
Oh,
we've given
shit.
$2 billion to schools, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't.
Really? Because
Shut up.
there's like holes in the ceiling in Detroit Public Schools that water is literally falling down and in the classroom. Could we do that? Could we just take a smidge of that $280 billion and fix some of those ceilings?
In the fuck is buying lottery tickets because they think they're helping the schools? I mean, dude, it's
just doing them apart.
Whatever. It's this thing. But the idea that they have to tell us, like, oh, this is all we've given to the schools. No one believes
I'd love to see an
it.
accounting. I honestly would.
Yeah.
I would love to see an accounting like, well, this school got this, and here's what that money went to fix.
Well, here's the more important thing you should ask, Mike, is like, not only did this money go, but what happened to the money? They used to give money to schools. Really, all they did is they used to give money, and then they had the lottery, and now the lottery money went to schools, and then that other money just went, other bullshit shit.
Went somewhere else. And if I've had that Catholic Central is getting money.
Oh, my gosh.
Cranbrook.
It's
If I find or hear the individual that has said that about me, I will pull your goddamn tongue out of the roots. Thank you very much.
I always remember my dad talking to me about, like, the government and taxes, and he'd just be like, just remember this, Eric. Like, the government is not a business. They don't make money. Everything they have comes from the people, you or us. Like,
good lesson, Mr. Fady.
I don't think it is a good lesson.
We've got to get to a break. I wanted to show you a video first, Jay.
Yeah.
My sister sent me that is fucking hilarious, and it's E's history today.
Yeah. All right.
So we've got to do that. But
Sweet.
And I don't have any details about this. My sister was like, "Hey, have you seen this?" It was like a Reddit post, the aftermath of a drunk driver, and this guy's like, so this drunk driver apparently knocked around a few cars, and so you've just got some dinged up cars, and this guy is documenting what he's seeing. So
somebody had to be drinking and driving. Look at this here. Look at this here.
Car's just
This
wrecked.
is how you do that. Drink and drive. Look at that. You see? Looks like they hit this motherfucker. Bounced off this motherfucker. Made it hit this motherfucker. Put half the engine. Put the engine back in this motherfucker. Swiped the side of this motherfucker. Half the fucking cars underneath of this motherfucker. Which end up pushing this motherfucker into this motherfucker. Steal more car parts and tore off the window and the mirror on this motherfucker. It looks like he came back, got control for a second, and then hit this motherfucker. Pulled it back onto the street. Came back, and while he was at it, I don't know where the fuck that came from. Hit
Just
this
air tire.
motherfucker.
Oh my God.
Followed the trail, swerved around, slammed that motherfucker into that motherfucker. Swerved around. Yep. Looks like he sideswiped this motherfucker right here on his way out the motherfucker.
What is there, 20 cars?
And you can see the trail of, I'm assuming this is, I know it's got to be an oil type for it to still be in. But damn. Nip this motherfucker right here while he was at it. Wasn't done. Knocked the bump off of that motherfucker. Managed to gain control.
What the fuck?
I wonder what the fucking car looks like. Do not drink and drive. You will fuck up a whole bunch of people's morning and shit. There's around 8 motherfuckers that's gonna come out this joint.
More than that.
And be so fucked up at that motherfucker.
Well
Be safe
put,
out
sir.
there. There's some idiots out there.
That's crime scene investigator Johnson.
Oh my God.
Hit this motherfucker.
Dude, that had to be like a semi or something. Just
right?
all these cars parked on the side of a fairly busy street, but they were all banged up, those motherfuckers.
They're gonna be like 8 motherfuckers coming out this jet in the morning, all pissed off.
Dude, that guy
Damn.
described just other things. His voice was incredible.
Yeah.
Like just a nice tone to his voice.
There's all of a sudden, it's like hit this motherfucker into this motherfucker and took this motherfucker bumper off. And then all of a sudden there's like a gap where there would be a car and there's just a tire.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't even know what happened to this motherfucker.
Motherfucker.
Oh, isn't that video great?
Oh my God, dude.
Love it. Love it. All right, let's take a quick break and then we've got to get our learn on, Jay.
Sure.
Sound good? We'll be right back.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break. continues now, bitches. Here are Mike and Jay.
Alrighty. Welcome back to the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jay.
And this motherfucker.
This motherfucker right here. And we got to hurry up and get to E because I got to get out of here. You looked outside, dude?
Oh, my goodness. It looks
Open the window. Open the window.
Clear?
No, it's...
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, we are in the middle.
Wrong window, yeah.
This is an absolute blizzard out there. Deuce was really worried about... We were kind of making fun of him earlier about the blizzard storm coming through. It's going to affect our travel to the airport. But goddamn, Jay, close the window. It is coming down.
Got it.
Oh, Jesus. Whoa. All right.
You're fucked, dude. Honestly.
Yeah, we're not making it to the airport. Not going to happen.
Icicles off my eyelashes.
Hold on.
You ready, Isis? This day in history with Big E? Are you ready, sir?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
sorry. All right. So 19
Off to a good start.
I know. Yeah, right.
We're rolling.
So this day, December 12th, 1925, we had the first ever motel open up in the world. And I don't
It wasn't the Bates, was it?
It was not the Bates.
Okay.
It was, I don't exactly know how to pronounce this, but it was St. Louis. What?
Motel 6.
Oh, no. Not the name of the hotel.
Okay,
the city.
go ahead.
The city that it was in. Asshole.
6.
If you look here, this is where it was. It was between
Oh, Mike's favorite. Is that the Big Sur?
No. That's south of Big Sur, but
Okay.
it's
basically between
you're getting down into
Los
Long
Angeles
Beach.
and San Francisco.
Pretty close to Santa Maria.
Santa Maria, just
Right on the
north.
101, right?
South of Monterey.
It's right off the 101.
It's right off the 101. You know, Los Padres National Forest is right there, and
Is
then
that-
Santa Barbara. You can zip right into Santa Barbara, just a few miles down the one.
Is that Marin County?
No. Marin County is up north. It's
I
across
got
the
it right
Golden
this
Gate.
time, though.
Yeah, I prefer Marin County now, to be honest with you. I get confused every time someone says that word. I'm like, wait, is it Marin or Marin now?
You know how I remember? You know how I remember to do it wrong? Mark Marin. I always go, Marin County, right, Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Bobo
anyway,
fat, right, Jay?
That's right.
So anyway, a lot of people think like 1925, is that really the first motel ever? Yeah,
A lot of people do think that.
There were, of course, hotels, plenty of hotels
But
in
the
the world.
motor?
But the motor
Hotel?
towel was not invented yet. Basically, up until then, people used trains and horse and buggy for transportation. So hotels were just downtown in cities. And if you were just on the train on the way, if you had been going from San Francisco or LA to San Francisco, you take a train.
We needed something along these motorways,
But
right?
in the 1920s, when the Model T starts taking off, people start driving. But the problem is when you go to places like, if you're trying to go from LA to San Francisco, that was a 2-day drive because the roads were so terrible.
No,
Cars
dude,
weren't
take the
that good.
5. You take the hop on the 5, you're
Yeah.
there in 6-7 hours.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
that wasn't the case in the
2 days.
20s. And so finally this dude, Arthur Hinman.
Buster Hyman?
No. No. Was like, dude, we should make a freaking a thing between. He was actually originally going to do like 12. He was going to go from San Diego all the way up to Seattle. The problem was he made this one about halfway, as I said, between Los Angeles and San Francisco.
Do you have an
motherfucker-
image of the first one? Yeah,
This
I am a
motherfucker is
visual
in San
learner.
Luis Obispo.
What?
Great town.
Is
Great
that right?
Yeah.
Got a nice taco stand out there.
San Luis Obispo. Yeah.
So what happened
If
was
I were in San Luis Obispo, Mike, and I wanted to get a fish taco,
Oh
Any
yeah,
idea?
you just go south down the 1. I would get into Los Angeles proper. Yeah, I'd get
Okay.
out of Long Beach.
gotcha.
But you get into the city, yeah, you're good.
So he was originally going to do actually a bunch of these, like I said, from San Diego up to Seattle even. But then what happens is he makes this in 1925, and then the depression hits in 1929, and so he
Bit of a
loses all his
shortage
he
of funds.
doesn't get to do it. But the thing that was different between and actually it was originally going to be called the Milestone Hotel.
Didn't you expect the first motel to look a lot shittier than that?
Yeah, it must have been renovated a lot or something.
No, that was what it was.
That's what it looked like.
But it was supposed to be
That's a
called.
bold move to build it that extravagantly
Yeah,
at that
it's-
time to be the very first
I
one.
know.
Well, he wanted
That
the thing was
Spanish
the
style.
deal was
Yeah.
the idea of the motel for one, as I said, like so people were starting to be able to drive, but the roads were terrible. So what people were doing is just like literally standing, going on the side of the road and just sleeping in their cars. There was some kind of like primitive campgrounds, but they would be, you wouldn't have your own bathroom. You'd be sleeping outside. So this dude was like, dude, people are traveling now.
Yeah.
And so we're going to make it so like you get, you have your own room. Like, you don't have enough, maybe you can't make it all the way in one day. Now you can stand here. And
Isn't it weird that somebody had to think of that?
Like,
I know, right? They're every 15 feet now.
I mean, yeah, at some point somebody had to think of that. We can't drive all that way. We got to stop. I'm going to put a place where they could sleep their own room.
And people at the time were just like,
sort of like a hotel, but not.
We're going to call it a motel.
Well, like I said,
we're just gonna, I'm just gonna pull over. I'm tired now. I'm just gonna pull over and nap.
Yeah.
Well, it was a big deal. Like the official definition back then, anyway, of like a motel versus a hotel was like in the cities, you wouldn't necessarily. They didn't just have like parking structures like they do now. So like the difference of the motel when you were driving was it was like you actually had a parking space for your car right outside your door. So his had garages.
Wow.
They had like garages and like you had your own bathroom, which was just such a big deal.
Balls out for the first one.
Right?
You'd think it'd be much more Spartan.
And it actually did have like a restaurant, and he originally wanted
a garage.
It's amazing,
right?
Well, dude, he wanted it to be, again, he had this vision that it was going to be this master thing. Like it had a restaurant. It actually had like, he wanted them to have like a little not a grocery store, but like a little mini mart kind of thing where he would.
And even his landscaping is spectacular.
It's an oasis.
Thought of everything. And by the way, you keep saying the roads were all shitty.
Looks
Those
beautiful.
roads look dynamite.
It really does.
I'd give anything to drive on roads that nice.
Three lane.
Look, the fact was, in 1925, that was the reasoning. Cars were not as reliable, and the roads were not as good, so it would take people a longer time.
Well, I'm a visual learner, and what I'm looking at is teaching me that the roads are pretty damn good because that's a beautiful road right there.
There's a sign, by the way, too.
Look at that. The Motel Inn, restaurant lounge.
And as I said, the reality is people, motor hotel is what people think because you could pull your cars up. But also, he was going to call it the Milestone Hotel, but the sign just didn't fit. So he had it ended up being like Mo Dash Hotel or Mo Dash Tel. And then at one point, a newspaper ran a story and they just didn't run that. And so it just became the motel. But it wasn't like he didn't set out to have this name of like the hyphenated name motel. It was still going to be.
What was his name that invented this?
Arthur Heinemann Coins? I don't know.
I mean, dude, what an opportunity missed. I mean, Howard Johnson, Howard was like, no, fuck that. I'm putting my name on it.
Absolutely.
Like, imagine if we were today going, dude, you want to, let's stop and stay at a Coins. Can we stop at a Coins, man? I'm dying. I got to get some sleep.
I know.
Here, by the way,
that's it right there.
When you slam the roads, that was like that picture that we showed you was a nicely done.
I understand, but shouldn't we have started with this one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
this looks to be far more original.
I don't know.
More kind of what I'd expect of the first motel.
Well, whatever. I mean, it is what that picture was. It's just a little.
Yeah, redone in 2018.
Yeah.
Well, actually, not really, because this is what it looks like now. But so a lot of it's gone now. But
you got a Mustang in the picture, but why would you? That's the small engine one, right? That's not a GT.
I don't know, man.
It's hard to tell.
That's not a GT.
So this cost $80. He spent $80,000 on the original one, which is more than $1 million in the days since. So, like, you're right. It was not. He didn't have this vision at that point that they were going to be what you kind of grew up thinking of as motels. Like, it wasn't into the 40s that like that's where it became like these seedy little things.
So he never realized his dream of planting these all over. He just got the one.
He just got the one, I guess, in the end because it was only a few years later that the depression.
Coins right now, dude. I'm exhausted.
It was $125 a night for they had two different. They actually had a
$125 a night.
Yeah, $1.25.
Oh.
It was $1.25 and $3. $1.25 was just for the regular kind of room.
$3 got you the hooker
room.
too.
Yeah.
No, $3 got you some condos.
Bed.
He had some condos there, so you got those.
San Luis Obispo. My mom used to live in San Luis Obispo. I wonder if she's ever been there or knows about this place.
So I will say, like I said,
I would not place your mom at that hotel if I were.
Well,
this is another.
Motel, sorry, that Heinemann Coins.
This is another version of like this part of the wall that's left. There's literally only that little clock tower kind of like.
Hold on, man. This looks like they're propping up a single wall. This looks like a goddamn movie set. Isis, are you sure this exists?
I am very sure.
Looks like a goddamn movie set.
All right, honey, I'm going to bed. And they walk through the wall, and then there's a bunch of grips and best boys back there.
That's bullshit.
Cameramen.
No,
That's
there
the
was
facade of a Heinemann Coins.
If you look at it here, it's there too. This is what's left of the hotel.
How do I know anything's behind that?
This better not be on the fucking lot of CBS, dude. We better not be looking at a lot of CBS.
You got a tram going by, carrying all these tourists, taking pictures.
So they talked to, they did talk to, like, in an interview at one point, they talked to some of the waitresses that worked at the restaurant. And so back then, again, it's still not billboard time yet necessarily. And so, like, people don't know about hotels. Like, they don't know about this necessarily there's a motel. There would have been articles, but, it's not the World Wide Web.
People would drive by and be like, what is that motherfucker?
So the waitresses at the restaurant, dressed in, like, their Spanish kind of flavor, would just sit out on the street and, like, wave down people. Try to just be like, yo!
All right, ladies, go out front and wave down some customers. See?
Maybe do the leg thing,
Wave them in, huh?
Yeah.
Lift their little flamenco skirt.
Ooh.
By the way,
there you go. Sauce it up, Nancy.
I would say
Gretchen, get on out there and wave in the customers, see?
The first chain motel, even though now it's like a hotel and things have changed, but the first chain motel was Holiday Inn. And they were the first one in 1965 to actually have like IBM. Like,
fuck! It took that long to have a chain motel.
Wait, what year did you say?
65.
That's incredible.
No
to me.
way,
it took
dude.
40 years after the first Heinemann Coins.
I want to fact check that.
Go ahead.
1965 before we saw the first chain.
Well, here. First chain that used like a computer system, an IBM made a service. No, for them to have national reservations. That's what the point. You guys, as usual, just cut me off mid-sentence and then.
No,
well, you said something retarded.
It was the first chain motel, and then now you tell us it's a very specific.
Well, I can look it up.
Piece of that.
I'm pretty sure I'm right still, but.
Jesus.
No, I'm pretty sure I'm right still.
When I declared my inability to believe that it went 40 years without anybody putting a chain of these things out there, these Heinemann Coins, you then started to read deeper onto your Wikipedia page, and that's when you declared, oh, wait, this is when they first put a system in to tie them together.
But yeah, they were like the next year. Motel 6 was around, and
that's not
Howard Johnson.
I still think I'm right. Original motel chain Holiday Inn was the first to develop an IBM designed national room reservation system in 1965. I still think that
it's a room reservation system. It's an IBM room reservation system. How about the first chain motel?
So did the Inn family?
I typed in what was the first chain motel into Google. Bing. And then.
So my guess is then, Jay, that the Inn family or the Six family or something opened up a bunch of branches nationwide. And then it took till 40 years later before IBM came in and was able to go
link them up.
Yeah, you can in advance make a reservation in Tulsa.
Mm-hmm.
I think the reason they defined chain hotel is that it was the first one that you could nationally go on and make reservations from.
My thought of a chain is just that a company owns several of them, but maybe I'm in the minority in thinking that's what a chain is.
No, that's
whatever. You just keep teaching us. I'm learning a lot here. This is good stuff.
That might be all I have.
God damn you to hell! So, Mike, what are you guys? You and Deuce staying at a Heinemann Coins this week?
Yeah, I believe we are. I can't remember which Heinemann Coins we're at, but we're actually, dude. You know what? We have to stay at 2 different Heinemann Coins.
Is that right?
Because it's so busy for the holidays, and so I think we're staying at a fucking.
You couldn't get consecutive nights somewhere?
We got 3 nights at one and 1 night at another.
Staying 4 nights?
Holy shit. I mean Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and coming home Saturday. Wow. So 3 nights, I guess. So 2 in one and 1 in the other.
Very good.
Yeah. Yep.
Jesus is typing away.
I think I'm right on this.
Okay, it may be that Holiday Inn is the first chain, but I don't think it's defined by when they got an IBM system that linked them all together.
Well, at the same time, it very well may not be the first chain.
Motel 6 wasn't founded until 1960. Oh, it was founded in 1962, actually.
So they've been leaving the light on ever since 1962, 3 years before 1965.
That doesn't mean it was
no.
It was a chain yet.
We just learned that Holiday Inn in 1965 was the first chain, so that must be.
No, that just means that when it was founded. It doesn't mean it became a chain yet. I mean, I've typed in what is the first national.
None of us were born then, but Howard Johnson's in the 80s looked like to be 50 years old, all of them.
You know what I mean? So, that's very scientific.
Well, I'm just saying. This wasn't my research project.
Weren't those like soda shops too? Weren't Howard Johnson's? Weren't they known for? You'll get a malt at the Howard Johnson's. I think so. I think they expanded from restaurants / soda shops to motels.
Yeah.
And didn't we learn just a couple of years ago the last one done Howard Johnson?
There was one not far from here for a long time.
Yeah, like at Telegraph and something.
Yeah.
Telegraph and Northwestern.
Yeah. Which one is come on in? We'll leave the light on
That's
for
Motel
you.
6.
Is that 6 or is that 8?
6.
6.
Okay.
The Super 8. Nights Inn.
Nights
so
Inn.
Nights
Oh my
Inn,
God.
yeah.
Nights
Oh,
Inn.
we've had some parties at the Nights Inn. Haven't we,
Oh
Mike?
boy. Oh boy. Yeah, they didn't really give a shit. As long as you had the $50 to cover your room, come on in, boys.
Well, yeah,
Understand
that
you're
is
14, but
like I
come
said,
on
that
in.
is a thing. Like in the 40s, you're right. Like so when motels did start expanding to like a lot of motels, like I said, it became like an FBI thing where even Hoover there, made a big deal, like saying motels are the places where like drugs are done and people are cheating on their wives and shit. It was like just
Absolutely true.
hoodlums go to the motels, man.
Sodomites.
Sodom and Gomorrah at these goddamn motels.
I like the hotels.
As Hoover's cross-dressing.
Yeah, right.
Fucking asshole. Hey, Hamlin Pub, they recently rolled out a new menu. Try their new culinary creations, which include Southwest Cobb salad, candied Brussels sprouts, Korean steak tacos, chicken share, or the
Chevry.
big brisket sandwich. Or you could start your day with an award-winning backyard Mary Bloody Mary. And of course, these specials are good at all 5 Hamlin Pub locations: Clarkston, Chesterfield, Rochester, and 2 in Shelby Township.
Hold on, I should check. Fuck yeah, it's a nasty stuff. All right, Jay, close the window. Close it. Wow, dude, I got time. I got a few more minutes, and then I got to hightail it out of here because boy, oh boy, is that. It's just fun. Oh, God damn it. Whew.
We'll make a nice tailwind, Mike.
Yeah.
Look at the bright
hopefully. If we can get it, even if we can even get to the airport. I don't know. With that weather out there, who knows? I know you're a fan of Star Wars, Jay.
side. I am.
And I was reading Mark Hamill today. He's revealed.
Yeah, they are locking down the script on 9, huh?
Boy, oh boy, episode 9, and that's is that the last in the 9-part?
It's the last of this set of trilogies, yeah.
Okay, and so that it is being flown to him and then flown back under guard, the script, and so security around the finale is so tight he's no longer allowed to keep a copy. Mark Hamill, obviously Luke Skywalker or Starwalker, wasn't that the original name?
Starkiller.
Starkiller, yeah. He has yet to shoot his scenes. The actor is currently in Prague shooting something for the History Channel. They're going to fly the rewrites over with somebody from the company. They're going to come, give it to me, wait for me to read it before I give it back, and then they leave.
Wow.
Yeah. He said even the pages themselves are printed on dark red paper that gives you a headache to read, but it prevents photocopying.
Mm.
Can you imagine that? Dude, when I see like a meme, people will post on Facebook or something, and it's all red, and and I read it for a second. It takes me a while to adjust afterwards. Can't imagine reading a script like that.
Well, he can't have that many lines, right? He's dead.
Yeah, but he's going to be Ghost Luke or something.
True.
They would they wound up letting me keep a script when we were doing the Last Jedi, but I had to lock it up in a safe every night and then carry it with me and never let it out of my sight. Because if a script gets out, it's done.
One of the prequel scripts absolutely got out.
Really?
And I read it prior, and my feeling was, this can't be it. But of course I'm going to read this,
Yeah.
but this can't fucking
Was
be
it?
it. It was absolutely it. It was number 3, I believe, Revenge of the Sith.
Really?
That got out a couple months before it came out. And me and my brother were emailing it back and forth. I just remember thinking, okay, I'll take a look. But
he says this messes with this method, by the way.
is that right?
And I could see that. Yeah, because he's like, I like to make notes, little cartoon drawings on the margins to help me visualize it, whatever you have to do to help remember it. You can't do that in electronic form. So it's so impersonal. I'm old school and long for those days. But they say those rumors of that shit are as old as the franchise of scripts getting out.
Yeah.
David Prowse famously, didn't he blow something? And so they gave him fake lines.
Oh, right. They gave him
Originally
fake lines in the Empire when Darth states to Luke that he's
Spoiler
the
alert.
father. Yeah. They had him say something completely different because they didn't trust that son of a bitch.
They didn't trust him because he had a big fucking mouth. David Prowse played he was the Vader. He was the guy in the
body of Vader. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they had him say fake names, knowing they were going to dub his voice out anyways for James Earl Jones, right?
Yep.
So I remember back when the first Star Wars script came out, I was like, wow, that's the goofiest thing I've ever read. So he gives it to his best friend. He's like, check this out. The script for the last New Hope in 1977. His friend's like, well, yeah, it's pretty crazy, man. This ought to be a fun, wild ride. Mind if I give it to Meredith and let her read it? Nah. He said all of his friends he was just passing the first Star Wars script around. No one knew what it was or gave a shit.
Yeah, remember we interviewed that author. I think his name was Brian Jones, who did the Lucas book.
Yeah.
And of according to him, that first Star Wars script was all over Hollywood with a lot of comments coming back that Lucas is fucking nuts.
Yeah,
This
he's
thing
lost
is
his
never going to
mind.
work. It's just
The genius that did American Graffiti has lost his mind.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, okay. So anyway, as you can tell, that blizzard is coming. I mean, it is bad out there. So me and Dust got to get out of here. Why don't we do one email, and then we'll.
We will.
hit
Before we get to that, hey, insurance, we all need it. Most of us don't even know what kind of coverage we have or who provides it. Well, let fellow TDC listener Brent Wasik from Wasik Insurance Services change all that shit. Brent has over 30 years in the business. He offers all types of insurance coverage: auto, home, health, life, business, commercial, and more. Call Brent Wasik at 734-455-1900. One email, huh, Mike? That's all we get? All right.
Yeah,
Brian,
no, we can do whatever.
Brian in Phoenix. Good day, gentlemen and Big E. God damn it. Can someone please inform Walters that the 3rd Street Promenade is not in San Diego, as he has stated numerous times in scripture number
It's in
1184?
La Jolla.
For someone who claims to know so much about California, and we just got a taste of that as well.
Fine, it's technically in La Jolla. Or were you going to say La Jolla?
You would think he would know that, in fact, it's located in Santa Monica, 3 blocks from his beloved Santa Monica Pier.
No, that's not true. 3rd Street Promenade is in La Jolla, right, Deuce?
One in La Jolla. Yeah. I mean,
Santa Monica. I don't know, dude. I'm looking at a fucking email and a link that shows the 3rd Street Promenade is an upscale shopping, dining, and entertainment complex in the downtown area of Santa Monica, California. So you're in the right state, Mike.
I am in the right state.
It is considered
Right
a
by
premier
George's on the
shopping and
coast.
dining district.
On the Cove and PB's.
So
right?
you're telling me there's 2 3rd Street Promenades that
And
are
my
remarkable?
favorite one is in La Jolla.
This
San Diego.
seems very sketchy to me, gentlemen. 2
Yeah.
3rd Street Promenades, one of which is Mike's favorite, the other which is not even on his radar.
It's a throwaway because I've got the Santa Monica Pier. I don't need a promenade when I've got the pier.
Doesn't make sense to me.
Scripps Pier is better anyway.
Doesn't
Scripps
make
Pier.
sense.
Scripps Pier is good, yeah.
Save the rest for next week and get you gentlemen out into that wild wilderness, that wild winter weather we're having.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ. Close the window, man. Close the window.
I'll send a tauntaun for you, Mike.
Send me a tauntaun, yeah.
You think these things smell bad on the outside?
Can I borrow your saber? I might need to cut this son of a bitch open.
Yeah.
Just trying to get some. Shut the window. Jesus.
Woo!
Christ. Woo. Oh, all right, everybody. Thanks for listening. We did record another show that will drop tomorrow as well, so you're not going to be missing. People are like, oh, what do we do? What do we do? You didn't do a show. Make T-Roy do a show. Shut up. We did another show. You're fine. Fine. If you want, I will be on Anthony Cumia's show.
Yeah, watch.
Check that out tomorrow.
For sure. How do you get it again?
Goes live. I think he goes live 4 to 6 each day, Monday through Thursday, and then compoundmedia.com. And if you're looking at the tabs at the top, they go by TACS tax, the Anthony Cumia show. So if you're like, I don't see this tax, because they've got a platform there with a bunch of different shows. So anyway, have a good rest of the week, and we will see you next week.
Listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.
Listen, sugar.